because, quote, it makes people feel uncomfortable. Biloxi School District is banning To Kill a Mockingbird from being taught because, quote, it makes people feel uncomfortable. There were complaints about it, said one school district representative. There is some language in the book that makes people uncomfortable, and we can teach the same lesson with other books. Now, this To Kill a Mockingbird, it is one of the great American novels. It takes place in the Deep South. It has themes of, are people inherently good or evil? Can you separate the two? How to deal with racism is what it seems here. There's a 6-year-old named Scout. I think she's 6, however old she is. This little girl hears the N-word for the first time, and
her name is actually Scout. But anyway,
has to kind of sort through it. There's a stranger who people say bad things about. She has to discover for herself that he's actually a good person. And there's a lot in it. It is called To Kill a Mockingbird, and that itself is about killing something innocent and pure. But what do you guys think about this? Thoughts, 5 words.
Over the United States. Its latest victim is our next guest, Art Spiegelman. He's the author of the acclaimed graphic novel about the Holocaust, Mouse. It was banned by a Tennessee school board, they say, due to content that includes nudity, profanity, and violence. Seriously, it's about a concentration camp. And Spiegelman wrote Mouse about his parents who survived Auschwitz. Here he tells Walter Isaacson what banning his book could mean for American democracy. This interview is part of Exploring Hate, our ongoing series on anti-Semitism, racism, and extremism.
Thank you, Christian, and Art Spiegelman. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
A Tennessee Board of Education removed your book, Mouse, from the curriculum a few weeks ago. And it's caused great controversy. It's even made Mouse now #1 on the Amazon bestseller list. Now that you've had a week or so to reflect on it, what do you think are the lessons from this?
I think it's part of the dangerous, perilous times that we're living in. A lot of it is directed at critical race theory and giant frightening quotes. And part of it is directed against non-gender normative people's books. It's amazing how often comics come up as a problem. It used to be that comics were burned back in 1954 when they were afraid they were causing juvenile delinquency. Now, in part thanks to Mouse, it's an accepted part of most curricula that graphic novels, as they're called, are within the scope of what is taught because it's effective. And the school board seems to be following an agenda either consciously, if I want to be generous, unconsciously, man's for freedom, for liberty, whatever, turning this into an issue of parents' rights, rather than an issue of education and making sure that children are prepared for the world that is kind of barreling.
After the controversy erupted over the removal of your book from the curriculum, the school board in Tennessee issued a statement. I'd like to read it to you and get your reaction to it. They said, "We do not diminish the value of Mouse as an impactful and meaningful piece of literature, nor do we dispute the importance of teaching our children the historical and moral lessons and realities of the Holocaust. To the contrary, we've asked our administrators to find other works to accomplish the same educational goals in a more age-appropriate fashion." Tell me your reaction to that.
Well, I've now come to realize that age-appropriate is broad range. It includes probably 40-year-old people on that school board, as well as 14-year-old students in their classes. When you talk about middle school, you're talking about some kids who can barely read, some kids who are just taking advanced placement classes for their university education. And anything that helps that education happen is important.
Why do you think it's important for an eighth grader to be taught a book like
Because in order to be a responsible human, not brought up with a lot of propaganda and prejudice, it's a matter of being well educated. And some people are able to do that on their own. Many people need the schools to do it. I understand how many people believe that should be primarily a religious education. I don't know that that's the only way to get to an ethical future. But an ethical future is really important to redress the ways we've created an ever more divided set of classes in America. The difficulty right now of being a person of color in America or manifest that we've made totally clear in the past few years. And as we get polarized around that issue, it's important to embrace
one of the school board.
So, hold on, let me put my earphones in. So, about a year ago, I was talking about how this whole issue with Pepe Le Pew and him not appearing in Space Jam 2 was honestly pretty stupid. That's right. And yeah, it's that stream is either on. I don't remember if it's on my second account or it's here. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. But and then after that, Disney decided to get rid of a couple of their movies on. Well, actually, not get rid of it. Excuse me. They actually put it on like basically if you want to watch these movies, you have to be like a certain age. It's not like it's not these movies aren't put into the kids category. So they basically removed them, I would say, but not really. But they and one of these is Peter Pan. Like I said, I don't remember the others. It's been so long ago. But anyway, and now they want to get rid of a comic book that talks about the Holocaust and To Kill a Mockingbird, uh, which every school in America has had in in their schools for I don't know how long, and it's just ridiculous. Like it goes back to people uh, being offended by things and wants to censor things, and these are these are old people, um, they want to ban violence and all this shit, all this stuff. Well, I mean, I hate to tell you, but you know, if that's the case, then I guess you'll have to get rid of the whole entire teaching of the Holocaust itself, because the whole entire Holocaust itself was was violence ridden and prejudice ridden and just pure racism and violence and murder and all these other things. You know, people that were different were put to death because some guy thought that he was doing God's work, and if that's the case, well, then I guess you'll have to get rid of, like I said, I guess you just won't have to teach the Holocaust, just skip that part in your whole World War II teachings, just take out the whole entire part of that history. As for To Kill a Mockingbird, as I said, it's been in schools for I don't know how long. I know more about To Kill a Mockingbird than Mouse. You know, the only know Mouse is it's a Holocaust it's a book talking about the Holocaust. The Jews are portrayed as mice. The Nazis are cats. And I know Art Spiegelman showed up with like Alan Moore and that creator of Ghost World in that one Simpsons episode. That's all I know about that. So I don't really know much about that. Um, I know more about To Kill a Mockingbird because I've read the book. You know, I read it in school, as probably everyone else has. I watched the movie. You know, uh, it's a great movie, and it reminds me of back when people wanted to censor um, Tom Sawyer for saying that specific word, uh, the N word, um, when in fact all you have to do is just put in all you have to do is just put a warning. All you have to do is put a warning in front of the book and just say, you know, this has words, that might seem offensive, you know, it's part of that time, blah blah blah. You know, you're taking To Kill a Mockingbird, which deals with racism, which deals with prejudice. You know, I don't remember much about To Kill a Mockingbird because, like I said, I only read it like when I was in, um, I think it was middle school or high school. I'm not sure, but um, these people get killed, and of course, they blame this black guy, you know, and and um, it shows during that time how people were prejudiced, people were racist. It shows how people were at that time. And then you want to hide this. You want to ban this from schools. Well, I guess you can. I guess you'll have to ban some other books like Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies has child murder. You know, Lord of the Flies has a kid getting killed by getting to, a rock falling on his head, being pushed by another kid, um, and you know, Piggy gets killed. You know, um, what else? Uh, you'll have to ban Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because of that whole joke about the it was a penis joke actually. I forget what it was. Ah, I had it right in my head. Like I had it right in my head. Um, hold on, it's gonna kill me. Talking about snozberries, which is I think the films and you have to ban the film too because snozberries is actually a reference to a male private part. Um, you know, uh, what other? I mean, there's plenty of books out there. Um, you know, you'll have to ban what else? Let's see. There was Lord of the Flies. Um, well, there's Treasure Island, where um, there's drinking involved. Uh, you know, um, Adventures of Huck Finn has murder. Um, and it's funny because, and I can like, I'll think of some others. You know, I'll think of some others. But yeah, you'll have to get rid of a lot of books. And it's funny because this reminds me of a episode of The Amazing World of Gumball, which they dealt with this situation um, with censorship, with, you know, the same thing that happened that's happening now. People are wanting to get rid of books, and they went through the whole entire list of books that, well, if you have to get rid of this, you'll have to get rid of all the, almost every book in the library that deals with with things that people would deem unnecessary. You know, you'll have to get rid of the Grimm fairy tales because the Grimm fairy tales has murder. The Grimm fairy tales has uh, lots of dark imagery uh, and dark themes in it. You'll have to get rid of that. You'll have to get rid of the old fairy tales. You'll have to get rid of, I mean, a bunch of shit, a bunch of stuff that they have to get rid of. Give me a second.
Wreak havoc across the nation. Come on, just have a look. There's such violent inspiration. Lord of the Flies. The book each parent cherishes. The feral kids survive, but the one with glasses perishes.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Piggy gets freaking crushed by a boulder and dies. And also, Romeo and Juliet has murder and suicide. So we have to ban that too.
Will make their readers real well. Miss Riding Hood is pretty bizarre. Just as the girl's grandma. I read weakness.
And eats the grandmother and gets actually split open by a hunter that's walking by. So that's what I'm saying. So and there's others out there. You know, there's other books that I can look up and use as examples. You know, if people want to go ahead and ban literally any book that has things that others don't other people don't like, well then I guess the library is going to be barren. You know, there will be no books in the library at all. So yeah, this is more censorship, and of course it's going to get worse and worse. You know, um, other things are going to get banned. Possibly more books are going to get banned. You know, um, probably videos of wars like World War II, excuse me, Vietnam, other things are probably going to get banned as well because people deem those things as inappropriate for you know uh, for others. Which, I mean, then how will we learn about these things? How will we learn about racial injustice if To Kill a Mockingbird is banned, or you know, um, or mouse getting banned? How are we going to learn about? That's one less, item that we could bring to people to learn about the Holocaust, or you know, that's one less item that we can use for people to learn about racial injustice. You know, um, to killing monkey, to killing, to kill a mockingbird. I can't talk. To kill a mockingbird is supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to make you think. It's supposed to make you wonder why there's hate in the world. And there's still, I mean, and it's the it. These things are happening today. You know, people are starting fights with each other over things that are completely, stupid. So, I mean, you can't hide one thing and hope that the world gets better because there will still be racism, there will still be violence, there will still be, there will still be other teachings about World War II and the Holocaust. There will still be other things talking about what To Kill a Mockingbird has said. There's still other things out there. So if you want to censor everything, no one can. You can't censor everything in the world. You can try. You can try, but you can't. No, it's impossible. We live in a sad world where people that want to hide things that would benefit our society. Who knows? Maybe the people that were I'm not gonna like I don't want to say like this in a negative way or that this probably happened, but maybe they did that just because they were embarrassed because, well, maybe they were like this. Maybe they know someone that's like this. But I mean, what that's not gonna hide what the true facts about these things. I'm talking about To Kill a Mockingbird, not, Mouse. But yeah. So, I mean, that's all I have to say about that. So, this has been another short video. So, I'll see you guys later on the next one. I'll probably do another one tomorrow. Who knows? So, see you guys later.